Sister, you've been on my mind.
All the ladies with the style and the grace, show some love to your sister, put a smile on their face. Go ladies, go ladies, go ladies, go ladies. Here to listen when you need me, when you up, when you down. Women make the world go round, no disrespect. Go ladies, go ladies, go ladies, go ladies. When you see your sheets fly from her head to her toes, you could call her love, cause that's the way love goes. Go ladies, go ladies, go ladies, go ladies. Please don't call her out of her name, she might do the same. You dealing with the women that's on top of their game. Go ladies, go ladies, go ladies, go ladies. Come on. Womanhood is being brought to you by the QOC Network.
What is good? What is good, folks out there in TV land, to our MTS TV network, and to all our major radio platforms, including Mr. Oso's personal radio station, M4G Radio, shouting you out on this afternoon. Thanks to Mr. Oso. Y'all say, go ladies, go ladies. It's womanhood. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Once a month, we come by and give y'all some realistic, dope topics. The past 2 months, we've been kind of battling amongst each other on this 50-50. If you ain't caught the first one, go back and catch it on YouTube. Matter of fact, I just want to tell the team some of the shorts I've been running on YouTube. Miss AJ, Miss D, Coach Chris, and Conrad. Yeah, we up in the thousands on them shorts. So QOC is moving and making strides in our own way, in our own lane. We coming back. Y'all see the crew. The only new person you have seen tonight is Mr. Conrad. And I'm just gonna do my little ding 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 in the match. I'm gonna be more of a moderator per se. I will give my opinions, but I'm gonna let all the hosts get their welcome in so we can get warmed up because I need them hyped on tonight. This time on part 2, what we are attacking is we explore how race, tradition, money, and gender roles shape how we view fairness and love. Today, we're diving in the hottest, most controversial topic there is. Should everything be 50-50? Why? Why not? Is it just the black culture that is really having a hard time to accept 50-50? Or is it the society that we are living in that's making us question 50-50 or put numbers? I don't even know why we put numbers on stuff, but hey, here we are. The men and women on QOC fits to give you our opinions. They're unbiased. We got married people on the platform. We got people in relationships, and then you got us single folks that's on the platform tonight. So you're going to hear it from 3 different perspectives, and hopefully we say something that, man, tickle your ear, tickle your heart. The Bible says if it don't convict you, that we ain't did our part. So hopefully we'll convict you in some manner to apply some of this good stuff to your life. We're going to start right to my right to Mr. Conrad. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the platform, and then y'all just rotate around. And, man, we're going to dive into the first video after the introduction. And, this is going to be interesting to see Conrad's reaction to the first video because it is of another culture that he's kind of identifies himself as. So, without further ado, y'all, here's QOC, Mr. Conrad.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me loud and clear. Salute to you. Salute to the queens in the building. Let me start from, I don't want to even say the bottom, but Miss Asia, God bless you. Salute to you, Queen. Chef D, I love your smile and I love your energy, and I'm going to give you that energy right back. Salute to you, Queen. Brother, my brother of all brothers, my brother from a different mother, but God done blessed us to come through the same channel. God bless you, Coach Chris. And Mama Egypt, you know I love you. You got another son right here. God
Yes,
bless you,
sir.
Mama. How you doing?
I am good. How about you?
I'm all right. And if y'all don't know me, y'all see me for the first time. I know a couple times I was coming in and I was battling the elements of this world. But my name is Conrad. I am one of the hosts of the A Bro Show with my brother, Coach Chris, where we are real men having real conversations, aiming for real solutions in this real life. And I'm just, yeah, I love this topic. I come from a different background. I'm Canadian born. I'm up here in Toronto, Canada, and my background is Jamaican. So, there's more of a matriarchy in Jamaica than there is a patriarchy in terms of the governing system of the societies. And so, yeah, I'm definitely here to rock out for this and give it my all tonight. Y'all gonna get all of me. I'm gonna be curated, but y'all gonna get all of me tonight, and I'm glad to be here. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to join you, wonderful kings and queens.
All right, comrade.
Oh, that was a good introduction. Oh my God. Okay, I'm D, Chef D, Granny D. Just call me D. I'm a host here on Womanhood. We are also getting ready to film my show, Cooking with Chef D, get into the soul of things. Hello. And also, I'm a co host with Seriously Unseriously when they need me, but I be everywhere. Mhm. It's always a pleasure to be with my brothers and sisters because we flow so well. Amen. We flow so well together. So let's just see what this show has to offer. All right. Mhm.
That
Mm-hmm.
is Chef D. And while we on her, we did the pilot. We filmed her pilot 2 weeks ago in my home. Y'all, we playing with fire here because a cooking show is nothing like a podcast. Let me just tell you this: we have cameras set up everywhere, but this is going to be something very dynamic that we're bringing to the QOC channel. And she is a talented chef. The girl cooked. And y'all know I don't eat nobody cooking. I be wanting to go to AJ house, but she stayed clean across the world because she could dress another week, and I was mad. But I'm gonna get AJ to come out here. Yeah, I'm gonna invite AJ out to my house on one of these shows so she could sit up in here with us and talk and look at how we're doing this show. This is gonna be something new, y'all, that hasn't been done on the QOC. So shout out to Chef D, man. It's coming together real good. Her pilot. So get ready for the promos, y'all. It's coming. And of
Yeah.
course, well, I was trying to get AJ on here. Look how stream y'all acting up. Go ahead, AJ, sweetie.
I'm here. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but of course, I'm AJ Monet. I am, I know some of you probably haven't seen me in a minute, but as you know, I'm in school. When I'm not in school, I'm working. I'm a grandmother. So I'm taking care of real life responsibilities. But that school is, it's got me bogged down. So that's my priority right now. But I am a member of QOC. I love you guys. I'm here to bring laughs, giggles, my thoughts, and just the topics at hand. So I'm ready to get into it.
And before we go to Chris, let me just congratulate my sis that's on the dean's list again with this 4.0 average. Tell these people what you studying, because beauty do come with brains, It do come with
So I'm
brains.
finishing up healthcare management with a concentration in human resources. Yeah, so I've been in healthcare administration
That's
for so
QOC.
long. So now on the management side, trying to get this money.
That's what I'm talking about. Beauty and brains. And of course, she hasn't went anywhere. She was studying. Y'all heard it. She was
Been
studying.
studying.
So I'm excited to have her back in the ring, and hopefully she get herself back accustomed to QOC and what we got going. She already know how I feel. Just jump in when she want to. I am very open on this end for criticism. And for anybody that's out there watching that might want to just try their hand at this, what you see is pretty much what you're gonna get. A group of Black people that's trying to really, really work and pour out positivity. You don't have to be big to be on our platform. You don't have to have a large following to be a guest host, because God told me not to add this season. Let me just go there. God told me not to add, to use what I have in the team, because he's doing something for each one of us on this platform tonight and those that are still on the roster. He told me this season to be still, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm watching God do things in each one of the hosts for QOC, that's opening up things for QOC and opening up things for the people that got other stuff going on outside of QOC. So we're building, but we're just building internally. Mr. Conrad had a death in the family not too long ago. Mr. Jay Holland lost his daughter. So we're human, y'all. We're human. So bear with us as we figure all of this network stuff out. But man, say we gonna give it to y'all, and we giving y'all quality. Quality over quantity is what I'm learning in this season. And without further ado, my brother up there in Maryland, Mr. Coach Chris, what's going on?
What's up, sis? I love you. You know that it's Massachusetts. I know Maryland. Maryland sounds good, but it's Massachusetts, man. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. But yo, I'm so excited to be here tonight, man. Look at these beautiful faces, handsome faces, man, that's on this panel. Oh, we about to have a good time on tonight, 50-50. Let's get into this thing. I'm Coach Chris, and yo, we about to bring some heat to y'all on tonight, man. I'm excited, y'all. Let's go.
Catch Coach Chris and Conrad tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Hey, bro, they coming back with their spin. Hey, bro, they coming back with their own little spin tomorrow. Be sure to catch them. That's y'all safe place, man. Y'all asked for it, and I gave you 2 banged up, God-fearing Black family men. So y'all ain't got no excuse not to say that y'all ain't got nothing to listen to on QOC, because it's here. It's here. And we're going right on into this first video.
The problem with many of us African men who come to America is we come and we embrace almost every single culture that America has to offer. For example, in Africa, we never get people say things like 50-50 in relationship, especially in terms of finance, because the women were in the farm or they were in the market. They were not at McDonald's making money like $7 an hour. They were not at KFC. They were not at Popeye's Chicken. They were not at Giant or some other store. They had no job. They were not working until they were probably like 25 years old or even 30. Most of the women back home, they go to farm and they farm, and we men are the one who provide for them. Now we come to America and we see that you can have a job, you can have your business. A woman can have a job at even 16 years old, 17 years old, 18 years old, and we carry that all the way until when we get married, we start demanding her to put something on the table. We start demanding her to to pay for the mortgage. This is wrong. If she chooses to pay for the mortgage, it's by choice. It is not mandatory. So we need to understand that if a woman chooses to help us men to pay for the bills, to pay for the mortgage, to pay for whatever stuff we need, we should not take that for granted. She's not supposed to do that. And if she does it, you say thank you and you are happy and you spend it together with her and you appreciate, because you guys are, after all, supposed to be one. But we should never forget that she doesn't have to do it. And I see a lot of men thinking that a woman is supposed to pay the bills, bring something on the table. You want her to submit to you and to bring 50-50. You are crazy. It doesn't work like that.
That's from the African culture. And I know Conrad is not African, but he is Jamaican. He has some Jamaican blood running through his veins. Conrad, do you agree with the brother? Or you're married, so how is your house? How does the husband and wife dynamic run at your house?
Okay, so for me and my house, both me and my wife work, right? Um, I kind of stand on the principles of my grandfather, and which is he always told me that a man has to try. In other words, you got to keep pushing the envelope every day, no matter what which lane you started in. You got to push the envelope every day, whether it's with your hands and the talent and the strength that God gave you, or you're taking your intellectual abilities and you're continuing to expand those day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year. You got to push. So one thing, when I met my wife and we were dating, she didn't know what career she wanted to go into. So this is something that I kind of nailed out in our conversations when in respects to this whole 50-50. We've been working together since we were dating, and everything that we've done has been geared towards building a home and taking that home to the next level every single year. So, and this is why the last time I was on, I made mention of the cultural influence, because within Jamaica, again, even though it's more of a matriarchy than a patriarchy, everybody in the house is formatted, trained, and curated, taught to pour everything about you into the house. I may be really great at taking care of the yard. I still got to come in and help with dinner, even if I'm not the best cook. My grandmother, right? Very, very influential in my house, right? And God rest her soul. I mean, the way she came off, she could be really hard and as they would say in this time, really masculine. But guess what? She taught me something about being able to curate in the house beyond finances, which was, okay, you gonna cook some food, make sure it's done properly. That if a guest pass by, they can get some food and they'll be all right. So 50-50 wasn't so much about finances as it was how much are you giving of your daily energy, not just your finances. And then when it comes to the finances, my grandmother let me know that even though my grandfather, he stood on business, but my grandmother was the one who really put this forward. So I had two different examples and two different teachings. My grandmother was like, hey, you got to take care of home, because if you don't take care of home, that shows you don't respect your home. If you're not even willing to contribute, right? And I think this is where in Jamaica, there's a little bit of a leniency that wasn't really understood by the Americas of the world, not just USA, Canada included, where it was just like, okay, if he's bringing in a penny, the wife would be fine with that because he already knows that he's got to contribute in other ways. It's non-negotiable, right? But if you do, as the man, happen to be the breadwinner, you are happy to be like, babe, there's fresh money in the account. Yo, whatever you got to do, take care of that. Or, and it might sound forceful and it's not like the sweetest way, but we come home, yo, when's the last time you go do your nails? When's the last time you go get your feet done? Go out the house. Oh, babe, the children need to be this, or the food needs to this. And we would be like, yo, we don't want to hear all that. Go deal with your nails and here and come back. And we just cook 2 food and sit down and just rub up and love up, right? We were trained as men that our joy and our legacy was going to come from how we have actual joy in uplifting the house. So it wasn't so much about finances. And I think for this African brother, that's a part of what he's referring to. I know he says when we come to America, we kind of lose a sense of our culture and where we came from. And the young girls are able to get a job and start working from 16, 17, and 18. And he's speaking about mobility. But the reason why he's referencing that is because there's a lost essence and care and actual genuine love and respect for the home. And so the more we get wrapped up into finances, is from that brother's perspective, is the less that we are genuinely excited to go home. Even if we got to go home and season chicken, wipe the walls, sweep the floor, do whatever it is, he's still trying to say that there's a genuine love and respect. And I can concur with that. So to rein this in, for a Jamaican-led household or Jamaican cultured household, we're taught with finances, but everything you want to pour into your house. And pouring into your house, my grandmother used to say that you think say you're bad or you're a man because you can come and pay some bills. What about when somebody's hurting? Can you speak life into them? What about when the household needs an encouraging word? Can you discern and speak life into the house? Because sometimes people are depressed, and because them dress up nice and you feel say, Shout out to Tit for Tat coming in the building. Salute to you, mama. Sometimes because, you know, we come in the house and we dress up nice and you put on nice perfume and your hair done and you dress up and you're ready for going on the town, but nobody knows you're depressed inside, right? So my grandmother always used to say this, and used to actually argue with my grandmother about it, my grandfather. And this is something I really deal with in my house, and I'm learning to keep it active, is to make sure that I'm paying attention to the house beyond the bills. Me and my wife actually used to argue about this, that I was very archaic and very ignorant. And I'd be like, okay, well, the money's there. Bills should be paid. I don't want to hear nobody complain. And it's just like, okay, well, you're not paying attention to me. Where's that love and that nurturing that can come from a man outside of his finance? Is that in the home? Because just because you're here in the home doesn't mean you're present in the home. And I think to be actually, Killa, AJ, and the last time briefly, Chef had mentioned that finances doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the home, even though it's a big component. So that is something that I'm really intentional on within my house, especially because me and my wife are 100 and 100 in, right? Even though I do make on an end of scale, I make more money than my wife. But I encourage my wife to press the envelope every day. We were even talking about it in coming home tonight about things that she should watch out. And she's like, yo, I just wanted to run this past you. Do you think I should go for this executive assistant position, or I should go for this position? Even though over here might be a better look, but I might have to deal with this issue. And I'm like, nah, man, you already got all the cues you need to just go take this opportunity. It might seem like a slower walk over here, but you're going to be able to get farther over here and pave your own way. And at the end of the day, when you get to the table, make the suggestion of money that you want to make. So I'll land my plane there. I know it's a roundabout way, but we all in my house.
Miss AJ, I know you're in a relationship and you had some good topics and points that you hit on the last. What do you think this video here?
So a couple of things. Let me start by saying that going 50-50 in a relationship is just, to me, this means sharing responsibilities and making decisions equally, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that in your relationship, your partnership, you're being fair to one another. Again, as Conrad stated, it's not always 100% about finances, though there are other dynamics that go into being a provider, pouring into the household, etc. But with that, the guy speaking, he's from Africa. And I feel like because of the cultural difference, when you Africa versus, coming to the US, the ideology or the expectation as who's from Africa versus who's from the US, it's always going to be different, because social media, that I'm not saying that they don't have access to it in, Africa or other countries, but I think for the US, social media is more influential. So you have a lot of women who set these unrealistic expectations of what a provider should look like, or what a household or a man should do, based upon what they see on social media, versus people who live in countries where social media is not like the number one dynamic in the relationship, or just in their country, period. They so off of traditions, and traditions that we used to have prior to social media. It's shifted the way that people think. It's shifted the expectations that women have now, and they look at it as a bad thing. And I'm saying to women who say, oh, well, if you can't get up, you a 50-50 chick, then you call me 50-50 all day. At the end of the day, the relationship is about teamwork. And I always want to be fair in any relationship that I'm in, because like I said, I don't know if I said this last time, but there's situations or there's times or people that I've known who you have someone, a man who pays 100% of the bills, but emotionally and spiritually, this man hasn't poured anything into her. So whereas you have the financial piece of your relationship solidified in that aspect, but you're at home and you're lonely. And it's like you want them to pay 100% of the bills, so which takes a lot of work to do, because I'm sure he's probably constantly at work, but then also come home and pour into you 100%, even physically and mentally and emotionally, selfishly, not thinking that men have feelings too. And that's why that partnership is important, to be able to, when your man may be 70, you his 30, or when he's 60, you his 40. You know, at the end of the day, it all equals up to back to be 100%. But that's just my perspective on it. You know, I feel like that each relationship, it comes to bills and finances, each relationship is unique in its own way. I just think for me, how we look down on someone's relationship having to be 50-50, if that's what they work for them, then as a woman, you are less than, or you are settled, who has a man who is financially able to, you know, take care of all the bills. So that's just my spin on it.
We got a good comment that just popped up from one of our own, Miss Akila. I think it's just cultural differences. And we got to remember, African culture isn't, oh Lord, somebody else. Okay. African culture isn't a thing. That's a multicultural, multi-country continent. And I think AJ kind of touched on that too when she gave her spill on that being in Africa and them not having some of the resources and stuff that we do have over here. And the guy even said it in the video, you know, whereas over there they can only work in the market and farms, and over here, like he said, they can go to McDonald's or wherever and get a job. Chef D in the hot seat.
It ain't that hot. I mean, Conrad and AJ both have said similar things, but I'm not going to say the same thing that they said. I'm going to say what I said last time. It is going to work for you for your right person, because everybody ain't for everybody. Okay? I do believe a man should be a man, but at the same time, it should be 100 from the woman. Conrad said it too. If that man comes home, we both working, but sometimes I'm gonna know that he's not at 100%. I know he may be at 30%, and I'm like, okay, let me put in the rest of the work for him today because I see it. But I'm gonna do that for my equally yoked person. You can't do it for everybody, because I don't know. People complain now about who they're dating. Oh, this man did this to me. This woman did this. Okay, but it was that the person that God designed for you. If it was brought by God, y'all wouldn't have this issue. Y'all could have worked this out or whatever the case may be. So is this your person? But no, I do believe a man being in a man's position, but there's so many things. There's so many things that can contribute to the woman as well. That's just how I was raised. My dad worked in the military. My mom, if she worked, she would work a job, but she would have the household together. She would have the dinner ready. She would have the kids ready to go, everything like that. My dad would come home and that's it. That's just how it was. So, but he didn't disrespect my mom. He respected the fact, like, she did take care of the house. She did take care of the kids. She put all that was needed into the house. He was bringing home the money, but she was bringing everything around to the house that was needed. It's something that he could not do, but still needed to be done in the house. So at the end of the day, it's still equal up to them doing 100%. It's just he brought in the financial part. She brought in the support from the house, but it was still 100 from both ends. But at the end of the day, I do believe a man needs to be in a man's position. Yeah.
And what position is that?
I believe when it comes to a woman, when it comes to this is too, in America, we have to work. When I turned 14, 15 years old, I had to work to sustain myself, and then so on and so on. I'm single now. No man takes care of me. And that means I'm independent. That means I'm also dominant right now. But once that man finds me, I am going to be in a vulnerable state and let the man be in the man's position. because I don't believe in overpowering a man, and I don't believe in going back and forth with a man. That's just me. I don't believe that. But that's not to say the man is going to disrespect me. I'm not no fool. You can't disrespect me. But at the end of the day, a man is the head of the household. God took a rib from the man for the woman to support the man. But it's still supposed to be 100-100. But I'm just saying, a man is still the head of the household. That's how it is. You can't sit there and look at it as, oh, so what, a woman can't be the head of the household? No, technically not. Technically, biblically, no, you cannot. That doesn't make you less of a woman, though. It just means that a man needs to be in a man's position when it comes to being the head of the household.
And it is from Chef D. Coach Chris, tag you it.
Yeah, man. I love this. Yo, this is good stuff. This is good. Listen, man, I think a lot of people are looking for roommates. They ain't looking for partnership. They ain't looking for no relationship. They looking for a roommate at the end of the day, man. This whole 50-50 thing for the Black community, I guess I could say for the American Black community, is setting us back. Like, real talk. This topic is setting us back because it's hindering us. And like so many other words and phrases we use, it's being weaponized. A man that treats a woman too nice, he's called a simp. A woman that shows a man respect, oh, she's a pick-me. A man that has boundaries and has a preference, he's called sassy. Like, come on, man. So 50-50 has been weaponized. And we're too focused on this. We're fussing about, who's picking up the bill or who's picking up the tab on the, for the date or whatever, who's picking up this receipt, while things are like, damaging our community, man. Like, we got neighborhoods that are going under. We got Black wealth, we're still lagging behind. We got people that's still battling with mental health issues, man. We got family that's dealing with trauma, and we are here talking about 50-50. It gets us nowhere at the end of the day. Everyone has hit Conrad, AJ, D. Everyone's hitting on the same point. It's about partnership at the end of the day. Y'all tripping. Everybody that's got 50, it does us no justice at the end of the day, man. We got so many. We got bigger fish to fry, and we out here fussing about a date. Oh, I'm taking you out, but I need for you to cover your portion of the date. I'm like, bro, you a man. You invited this sister out. You supposed to pick up the entire thing at the end of the day. So 50-50, this is just my heart pouring out right now because I see the damage that it's doing for our community, man. It's being weaponized at the end of the day. And like, we taking these phrases and we're using it against each other. It gets us nowhere. Cut the crap, man. This isn't something that's been ordained by God. D said it, like, God didn't call for this. Bring 100, bring 100. And it also, like, it doesn't put 50-50 doesn't put things in its proper perspective and context. You're not going to show up your best self every single day. The person that you with, sometimes you got to carry their load. You got to carry the heavier load, on Monday. And then it might switch on Wednesday where the other person is carrying, most of the bulk. We got to chill out, man. 50-50 is a cop out. It's a joke at the end of the day, man. We got to stop, man. That mindset, it gets us nowhere. It's being weaponized, and we got to stop. And we got to see through the BS. Chill. Bring 100 to the table. Bring your best self to the table, and, like, let's build. That's it. That's all I got.
And we're going on to the next video, which is the controversial Mr. Kevin Samuels. Y'all already know this gonna ruffle some feathers. Thank you, Miss AJ, for the video. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap this little segment up until we get back in our reference or our position with God. Everything we do is gonna fail. He said, if you seek me first, everything else. We have gotten so out of order, and we're trying to, I'm with Chris. This is another divisor tactic to keep the family, the Black family dynamic separated. It's another, because what we're doing is the black man is pointing the finger at the black sister. The sister is sitting back like, nope, I'm not going to do it. So we point the finger back at y'all. And then when y'all go and get a woman of another persuasion or color, we're mad because we like, hey, why you couldn't build with us? And we like, and the men is like, well, we tried to build with y'all, but y'all didn't want A, B, C, and D. And then us women, we do it too. We'll be like, oh, well, I'm going to go and get me one of these kind of dudes because they do this and do that. It's just another divisive tactic. I'm not saying that love is not in other races. That's not what Egypt is saying. What Egypt is saying, when we get back in order with God and we really put him at the head, because man is not at the head. He's the head. When we put him first, everything else would come together. Politics, everything. If y'all don't open your eyes and look at every bill that they're trying to do is to separate family. It's to separate family, and we're falling into that trap. We're, like Chris said, we're fighting over who gonna pay for what. Just take me to McDonald's and get me some off the $3 menu, bro. I mean, it's not that crucial. At the end of the day, if our mental is not right, we're not doing nothing. And that's my spiel. And we're going right into our brother, Kevin Sanders. Y'all already know.
Looked over, I kind of saw 50-50 comments. 50-50 comments. Well, what do I get? Well, what do I get? Well, what do I get? Nothing. You get nothing. 50-50, you get nothing. You can't make no demand either. You can barely 50-50, you're doing enough to take care of you. You get nothing. Zero. 50-50 has always got nothing. 100% gets everything. Oh, I'll be 70-30. See, 70-30 is still on that bullshit. 70-30 is still on that timid, lazy, cheap thing. It's still trying to get the free lunch. You don't want the responsibility. There is no such thing as unconditional love. I only want to deal with people on conditions. I don't want to be loved unconditionally. I want to be loved with hellified conditions. Yep. I want conditions because I have conditions on myself. Your conditions ain't harder than mine. The question is, can you keep my attention? See, this is a twist for a lot of dudes. Because a lot of dudes don't have the confidence of their accomplishments to talk like this.
Hey, Jay, you wanted him, so you go.
I don't even like Kevin Samuels, but I thought that, that was, I sent it for the sake of the show. I don't, I don't like him, but it's not, in regards to the 50-50 video. Again, sorry, I didn't like the brother, but
she the one sent me the video, y'all. She sent me
what? Like I hear him. I hear him.
Do you agree though? Do you agree though?
I don't. Again,
okay.
I feel like that. I feel like everybody's situation is unique, and that's the thing. When 50-50, why is it when we're talking about a relationship in 50-50? Why is it always about finances? What I have learned and what I've come to grips with is that we live in a selfish, entitled society, right? And you have, and I'm not saying men are not like this, but I'm gonna say this as a Black woman. And I don't care who mad, because who gonna whoop me? Who gonna check me? Nobody. But a lot of the women that are, I ain't doing 50-50, and usually it's finances or whatever, they single. They don't have no man. And a lot of them are going to stay by themselves for that process, for that thought process right there. Because I feel like when you meet a man, and it's not saying that you won't meet a man who's okay with that initially, but it's like, what are you really going into the situation? Are you showing him that you're willing to be a partner, or you're saying it's all about self, it's all about me? You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, in a sense, it's just selfish. It's all I very seldomly do you hear women be like, oh, well, you know what? I want a provider, but they encompass everything else with it, mentally, like mental, physical, spiritually, all of these things. It's always finances. Then you ask, okay, well, if he pays 100% of everything in the household, well, what are you doing with your money? Well, my money is my money. But what are you doing with it? How did you contribute to the household? What are you doing? Are you saving it for vacations, or you buying groceries? No, it's just my money. And then you have a lot of women who just want the whole idea of just being able to tell somebody, I got a man that's paying 100% of everything. And I have this thing, and I'm not going to say this is all men, but I feel like in a lot of cases, men, they pay 100% of everything, they be cheating. I think they cheat. I do. I think that's one of those things like, I'm going to step out when I want to step out. I pay all the bills in the household. What can you do? You can't tell me nothing. The household is taken care of. So I'm going to do what I want to do. That's why I tell a lot of women too, when you're dealing with a man with money, there's always going to be other women in the picture. Always. And this is coming from somebody who's dealt with men with money. It's, in whatever capacity it may be in, whether it's him initiating anything with these women, but it's going to be women after him because of the money. So sometimes, it's kind of like, do you really want that situation? I mean, you have to be careful what you ask for. It's like, you want 100% of this and you want him to be faithful. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be, but that's another thing too that happens a lot. Again, that goes back to, he provides for the household 100%, but you're not even happy. You're not even happy. That man don't touch you. He don't have sex with you. He don't pray over you. He don't even like you. He's just paying the bills. So
D,
Yes.
do you agree with Mr. Kevin Samuels?
I mean,
Right.
nobody does. No, nobody does. I tuned him out as soon as he popped
But
up
when
on that
she was
screen.
he was like,
I tuned him out as soon as he popped up on the screen. And I know from what I said last time, people be like, they were asking questions in the chat, like they were asking, like, what is the position of a man? I'm like, everybody got their own opinions when it comes to this 50-50. That's number one. You need to understand that. Everybody's not going to be on the same accord. Everybody's not going to believe the same thing. The thing is, what do you want when you get your butt out of bed? What do you require from a man? What do you require from a woman? Is that your right man? Is that your right woman? A man that I know, I'm a businesswoman. I have a 9-to-5 job. I have a business. And Egypt know this. I have multiple social media platforms that I do. And when I get my man, I'm not going to decrease what I'm doing. I'm not. But at the end of the day, too, I'm still going to respect him as the man, but understand that he's going to respect me, too, as a successful woman, because that's going to be my person. I'm talking about this is only for your person. Of course, if it's not your person, they're going to be an ignorant motherfucker. They're going to be like, yeah, I pay all the bills. Yeah, I pay all the bills. You going to do this and I'm going to sleep with this woman. Motherfucker, you can go ahead because I pay my own bills before you got here. But that just means, is that man not treating you like a queen? Like a queen should be treating a man like a king. That's not what it is. So therefore, that was not the man or / woman you were supposed to be with. Because I don't care, like I just said, my dad may have made the money, but he still came home and respected my mom for what she put on the table. Because he couldn't do it. He couldn't have no kids. He didn't want to bathe no babies. He didn't want to have no babies with no homework. He didn't want to get down on his knees and clean that floor. He don't want to do none of that. Oh, he cried if he had to do laundry. Oh, so what happens if I need to make your lunch? What you gonna eat, man? If you needed clean drawers, who was gonna do it? Me. I help you get to work every single day, because if I did not help you, you'd be at home taking care of these kids that you laid down with me and made me pop these babies out. So yeah, I like I said, it depends on your person. That's what I said. I said what I said.
And I would say this, can we, and then Coach Chris and then Conrad could come back to finish this question up. Can we stop talking about the table? Who is bringing to the table? In the Bible, Jesus turned over the table because the table represented everybody. Told me, I want to eat at the table. Be careful when you say the table. The table represents a lot of things. It was 2 tables in the Bible. It was one where Jesus turned them over because they were collecting money. And they were doing stuff that they weren't supposed to do. And then it was the table at the Last Supper where Judas betrayed him. Can we stop talking about the table? What we bring it to the table, and let's just sit down and conversate. And if that means in the backseat of your car, in the living room, or wherever, let's just talk. Let's stop using the metaphor table. Because what does the table really represent? Is your table made out of wood? Is it glass? What glass breaks? Wood gets warped and gets stains. I mean, can we just stop talking about the table? Because the table represents a lot of stuff, and all of it ain't good. It ain't all about putting a cup, a fork, a plate, and sitting down and eating. That ain't the table. He said, I prepare a table in front of your enemies, but you got to think about what's all included in that table. It's the good, the bad, the sour. All of that is at the table. Be careful when we say that. Coach Chris.
All right, listen, do not hate me. I like and agree with Kevin Samuels. I am one of those. But the person I like and agree with more is Sister AJ. I like what she had to say. First and foremost, thank you so much for your transparency, because you touched on some stuff that I feel like a lot of women need to hear when it comes to men that's paying 100 and got the finances and got this, that, and the third. Not every relationship, but there are a lot of relationships where men, bringing home their bread, doing 100, and they're out here cheating, and women are settling. Sisters, you don't have to settle for that at all. But I like what Kevin had to say, because I agree. When you bring in that 50-50 mindset, what you're bringing is you're bringing a half heart. You're not bringing effort. When you bring in 100 and 100, like AJ said, it's not all about finances. Like, what do you bring spiritually? Conrad said it. Can you speak a word of encouragement? D said it. Like, yo, can you wash a dish? Can you cook? Or whatever the case may be. Like, what do you bring? Like the 100, that's effort at the end of the day. We're looking for partnership. That's it. I agree with Kevin said. You're going to get the best out of your relationship, out of your partnership, when you bring your best self. 100. In that 100, yeah, it might. I know this is going to sound crazy, but yeah, some days your 100 is going to look 7-ish. It's going to look 50-ish, because you're not going to be your quote unquote best self every single day. But when you're bringing effort, that's what we're talking about. Forget the 100, forget the 50-50, but when you bring an effort, when you're trying, at the end of the day, that's sexy right there. A woman that's trying, that's sexy. A man that's trying every single day, that's sexy right there. And that's what we want to get the people at. Just get up every single day and try. You ain't got to give 100, but listen, if I see you giving 50, I see you giving 30, props. I'm going to respect that at the end of the day. So yes, AJ said it best. It's a lot of selfish people out here that's, trying to get whatever. But when you bring effort, it's all good at the end of the day, because the person that see another person trying, that's going to motivate them to continue to try and love and respect and honor at the end of the day. When you got someone that's lazy and half-hearted and freeloaded, nobody want that. I'm done.
And you got Mr. Conrad coming in last.
Kevin Samuels, my guy. I look at him from a different perspective. So he said, and let's just briefly recap, 50-50 gets you nothing because it's the bare minimum. I agree. 50-50 sounds half-hearted to me. I don't want a friend that's 50-50. I married my wife because she's 100, even when she had 0. I want to throw this out, and it's not supposed to make sense in anybody hearing it, because I want you to think. When my wife had 0, she was 100%. When I had 0, I was 100%. Now, I want to reference something that kind of everybody's touched on, especially Chef D and especially Coach Chris and AJ. And I want to frame this thought in this way. Why did I get in a relationship? Why did I seek somebody out to love them? or to even tell them I like them or I have an affinity or an attraction to them. Why? Because if I'm only going to give them 50% of my attraction and 30% of that attraction is conditional, what are they getting? And then what do I hope to get out of my own parted investment? What return am I looking for? The reason why I asked that, and I kind of look into myself, I did not get married. I did not start dating. I did not start mentoring. I did not pick up a basketball. I did not start playing the piano. I did not start ministering in church. I did not start helping with the homeless. I did not even work with anybody on social media platforms to give you 50-50. I want to be the greatest. Okay. And out of that hunger, I want Chef D to be the greatest. I want Chris to be the greatest. I want Mama Egypt to be the greatest. I want AJ to be the greatest. Because why? We mirror that hunger for greatness out of each other. Likewise, a relationship, an intertwining, a partnership is the same thing. It is reciprocal energy to be the greatest I can be. It doesn't matter what my igniting factor is. I'm in it to win it. And we're only trying to yoke with people who are like-minded individuals. Every once in a while, yes, there may come a time where we might encounter somebody who is not trying to they're only trying to give 50% because they're jaded or they're guarded. And they say, this is what I can afford to give you. And if I don't get anything back, then I'm okay because I didn't give you 100% of me. That's how I look at 50-50. It's being holding back in case I get hurt. And so when we look at the aspect of paying 100%, I still look at it and I say, well, paying 100%, money should not be the negotiating factor in which respect is given or received. That's number one. That is not taught through relationship. That is taught in the home, and it's reinforced by my thoughts individually or our thoughts individually every day. So even if I don't know Chef D, never met her a day in my life, and I see her on the street, immediately she gets 100% of my respect until she puts herself in a position, she specifically does something to chip away at that respect. I'm not going to handicap her. Same thing with AJ, same thing with Chris, same thing with Egypt. Paying all the bills, this is how I look at it. Even if I'm a man, paying 100% of the bills. You know what the effectiveness of that is to create room to explore or to reinforce the love that we're trying to build in this home. So even if I am the breadwinner, 100% of the breadwinner, for me personally, I'm looking at that. I'm paying 100% of the bills because I'm alleviating pressures within the home to be able to create a stronger legacy, a stronger atmosphere, so that when others step into my home, God forbid somebody steps into my home and they're depressed, but they can feel the love in my home. They can see the love at the dinner table. They can see the love between me and my kids. They can see the love that I have and appreciation I have for Chef D, AJ, Chris. And guess what? Immediately they're actually getting healed, and it is reinforced. And first of all, it's undone the indoctrination of this world through the negative aspects of social media to say 50-50 is what we should aim for, and we should ask everybody what they bring to the table. What if I tell you that my table is rotting?
Yeah, that table.
It's not about it's not about what I bring to the table and who is the table, because you could be the table and your table is rotting because you haven't varnished it, you haven't sanded it, you haven't checked if it's got termites from the last person that you let lodge at your table. So we've got to be, I would say we've got to reshift our focus on even what it means for a man to be a breadwinner in that position. Respect is not a factor of whether I can pay all the bills or not. So I can agree with the sentiment in what Kevin Samuels is saying, but my mindset is totally different, because paying 100% of the bills is creating room for my family to grow deeper in love. and for us to become the example. I'll tell you guys the truth. Being Canadian, you know who I used to look to to instill in me that true family virtue and love? I used to look for Americans. I got home structure training from the Jamaicans, because I want you all to take this in, because I'm Canadian with Americans right now, and primarily more Americans are going to see this than Canadians. Being a Canadian born man, I looked to Americans from 1989 up until early 2000s for what it meant for a man to work all day and come home and kiss his wife, and no matter what they're going through, be completely enamored and entangled with his home so much that it might not be heaven on earth, but it's heaven in his heart. Y'all feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is not somebody who looks at his 100% and because I pay all the bills and everything goes through me, that I get to do whatever I want. No, I'm building what I learned from Americans, especially specifically Black Americans through this time, was that, look, as a man, you are going to give all you can, and you will be frustrated in your day-to-day, but you will be able to come home, be nurtured, be ministered to, not necessarily by word, but by love. And the children that you have will reinforce that. So when I got married, that was the idea I had in my mind. So I agree that this 50-50 conversation is so divisive, but to the negative extreme in which Kim and Samuels has been allowed to be propagated, the 100% is negative, and it's not being used to reinforce the foundation of the family. I land my plane there.
Can I ask you a
And
question?
we have,
Conrad?
okay, go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry, sweetie.
Oh, Conrad and both Chris, do you believe as men that, because we're talking about finances, because people make, 50-50 about finances, do you believe that a man who isn't able to provide for a household 100%, he is less than a man, or isn't a man, or incapable of loving a woman and treating a woman with the love and respect that she deserves? Is a man that isn't able to pay 100%? We'll say he meets a woman, they fall in love, he makes less than her. Is he less than a man?
No.
Does it? No.
He's definitely not less than a man.
No.
And that's
no.
another issue right there. Yeah, that's another issue, because we emphasize finances with manhood, and that's not the case. And so many brothers and women get caught up in that. And if some men feel like if they're not making enough money, or if they're not making all of the money, they feel like they are less than a man. That's not the case. Your manhood is not tied into your finances. Your manhood is tied into the person, your best self, how you show up every single day. How do you pray to God? Do you show love to your family? Do you show love to your community? Do you impact? Do you pour? Do you encourage? All of that's manhood. That doesn't make him less than a man. That makes him human. And also it just keeps him balanced at the end of the day, because this world that we're living in, that's how it's set up. It's going to be time. It's going to be times when he can't rock 100. He can do that. And then there's times when he can't. What you was about to say?
I was going to say, do you think that with women who think or believe that it does make a man less than a man if he's not able to provide financially 100%, does it put pressure on them, which at times pushes them to go date outside of their race because they don't get that slack from other women? I mean, like, what do you...
So,
you want to take that?
I want to piggyback. Yeah, first of all, I want to piggyback off of how that first part of the question. First of all, as a man, not being able to pay 100% of the bills in a house does not make you less of a man. If you are conditioned to think this way, brother, today, hear us, brothers. If you're listening on this conversation, not being able to pay 100% of the bills does not make you less of a man. We undo that indoctrination in Jesus' name right now. That's number one. Number two, you not being able to pay the bills does not mean you get to enact or head into your echo chamber to build up a level of hatred, contempt, or disrespect to the woman you chose to be with. You can't love her and breed discontent into her because she's making more money than you. Now, if you chose somebody who's indoctrinated to breathe that level of contempt in you, then for peace sake, y'all need to separate. Now, when it comes to being able to, again, this aspect of respect going both ways, that is not contingent upon money. And this is the indoctrination that we have to undo, because if I can't respect you when you make no money, guess when I'm not respecting you? When you make money.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes all money does is give me the opportunity to say, how disrespectful am I going to be to you right now? I make X amount of six figures. Oh, I'm going to disrespect you to the 100th degree. I only make $2, so I'm only going to disrespect you $2 worth. Disrespect is disrespect, no matter what level of the totem pole you get. So, for us men, I can understand where the conditioning and that thinking comes from, but we got to understand when we get off social media, we got real life to contend with, and the electric company, the property taxes, they don't care who makes 50. They just want the bill paid.
Yeah.
If you understand the aspect of sports in its totality, I might not be Michael Jordan today. I might be a great Scottie Pippen. I really might be. I'm not built to do the interviews. I'm not built to go to the commissioner's office. But if wifey's built for that, cool. Go handle that. What am I good at? What am I great at? And then guess what? When wifey comes back, let's say for the sake of all of us up here, it's me and AJ, right? She comes home and she's like, yeah, I'm kicking butt on this 4.0. Okay, like I'm studying you. What's your study habits like? What is your go to bed time like? What is your get up time like? What is your recipe for thinking? What is the formula that drives you? Chef D, I might not be the greatest cook. And let's say me and her are married. We in the home now. She's a master chef. I'm gonna see, how does she dice? How does she wash? How does she curate? How does she season? Because for every time I'm going to put finances above my woman, even if I'm making less than her, the minute, and this is where we men in this generation fall short. The minute we start to put the conversation and the argument of finances on as an axe against the woman, we put ourselves into a position we automatically say, I'm willing to accept less because I'm literally pushing you to contempt.
Mm-hmm.
Chef D said it. Did everybody hear what she said? She said, I'm not going to stop making money. Right there, if I was single, I'm on a plane right now. Because guess what that says to me? She has a drive to want to be great. So am I gonna lose? Am I gonna lose the greatness that God gave her in that drive just because it sounds like, oh, she has a better opportunity to hit six figures before me? Like, that's ludicrous. And that's not godly. So to go back to the question, I know I'm monologuing for a quick bit, but man, making less money than your woman has never made a man less of a man unless he chooses to take that seat. It's impossible. God didn't create none of us that way.
Mm-hmm.
I land my plane.
And the plane has landed. Bro, you guys, we have given y'all an hour and something of 50-50 cultural differences. Does it make a difference whether you African American, Western, Jamaican, Canadian American, single, married, us that's looking? We have given you that. Thanks to Miss AJ for the beautiful clips. There is one clip I'm gonna end the show with, and that is the biblical one. I don't want to play anymore because we need this to go to radio smoothly, and we need it to go to the TV stations smoothly. I will say this: catch Conrad and Chris tomorrow night. Hey, bro, they're gonna spin off on this on their segment at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, if I'm saying that correctly. Then we got In the Mix dropping Saturday at 1:30. Man, it was a great show. Y'all not gonna want to miss that. Quentin Simon comes back Sunday at 1:30 with his show. Quentin Gospel Award national winning cousin. Congratulations on your award. That would be Sunday. And I'm gonna bounce some off of AJ. We kind of been talking about this soft girl era for a minute.
Mhm.
I think that should be the next topic for womanhood. What is soft girl era? What that look like? What that incorporates? And all of that. For womanhood, I think we need to talk about that. I just want to see what you gonna have to say on that when it
Look, I've been,
comes to that.
I've been in my soft girl era for a long time. You know. So.
Love it. And me and a couple of ladies on the platform was kind of going back and forth, kind of heated today. So with that being said, yeah, we got some strong
Lord.
opinions about soft girl era, but it's nothing bad. It's a conversation that really needs to be had for women. How to get there? What does it look like? What does it incorporate? What is included in it? Especially for the Black woman in this, this time. I think that's what we're gonna touch on next month. So y'all begin your thinking caps on, ladies. We're gonna go at it. I am through for the night, so I'm gonna let Chef D go next. I'm gonna let AJ go after Chef D. Chris, you come in third. Conrad wrap us up, and when Conrad gets through, we're gonna end it with a video and our intro. That's it. We through. No more talking. Okay, D.
I'm gonna say this real quick because I feel like half of y'all are cussing me out in the chat. It's okay. It's okay. I don't care. I will say this. No matter where we come from or what we face, as long as that man and that woman both show up with love, effort, and respect and put God into it, they can build something real. They're not just splitting bills and roles. They're building a life together. It's not about who gives more, but they're both giving their best, growing side by side. You have to be with someone who's going to help you grow. Even if my man didn't make more money than me, that's still a man, and I'm going to respect him as a man. Because what happens if I lose my job? He's already making more money than me.
Disabled. We gotta
exactly
we gotta
disabled.
On the show. Yeah.
What's going to happen by then? You're thinking just money. Okay, what happens if you can't make no more money?
Yeah.
Your person gonna leave you because all they thought about was the money from you? Oh, okay. Like I said, you need to wait on your person. Amen. Glory be to God. All right, that's all I got, y'all. That's all I got.
AJ.
As I stated in the beginning when I came in, going 50-50 in a relationship, it means sharing responsibilities, expenses, decision making equally between partners. Again, this approach, to me, it promotes fairness, equality, and teamwork. And what works for you may not work for somebody else, and that's okay. People need to do what works for them, and that's it. There's no right or wrong way to do what works for your relationship, and it's okay, and that's it.
Coach Chris, tag you it.
Yeah, man, fantastic conversation. I think it was Conrad that introduced this question: what return am I going to get? And all I heard was, you reap what you sow. And that's a principle of God right there, man. And that goes for every single thing, including relationships. So if you want to reap a phenomenal relationship, a phenomenal marriage, or whatever the case may be, you got to pour into that thing. And I just want to leave the people with that, man. Just show up as your best self. Whatever you bring into the table, I want to say the table, whatever you bring into the relationship, bring that so you can reap something that's very prosperous and beneficial to you and your partner. And that's it.
All right. And of course, out of Canada, new to the QLC team and platform, Mr. Conrad.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we really got to just overall my last is just that you don't get the fullness out of yourself when you go 50-50. You'll never get the fullness out of your partner or your home to build that legacy going 50-50. We got to reshape that mindset. You will not be hurt pouring out your all to see the betterment of the woman that you chose. Women, you will not be less than a woman to pour 100% into the man that you chose. Greatness is incumbent upon everybody, and the path to walk it is hard. But if there's no sacrifice, there is no victory. We got to put ourselves in the best position and the people around us. And there may be some days when your 100% is like, okay, I'm going to tap out. I'm just going to fall down and go to sleep. If that's what it is, give it. I encourage you to give it. I encourage you, if you're going to faint for anybody, faint for the person that you love. If you're going to faint for somebody, faint for the people that you respect. I'll leave it there.
And you guys have heard it from the QLC. As I stated, we will continue to dive into these kind of conversations that affect not only the Black culture, but us as a community and us as a society, encouraging healing, growth, accountability, and spirituality, all in one WAP. You get it all right here on the QLC network. And we're going to end it out on this biblical video. And then we will see y'all next week. It's something on the show. Y'all can just go out there. It's about 8-9 shows. Go out there. It's something out there for you. I promise you it is.
Relationships are not 50-50. Relationships are whatever I have and whatever you got. And we'll meet somewhere in the middle. So sometimes you got 10, I'll bring 90. Sometimes you got 70, I'll bring 30. But whatever you don't have, I'll pick up the slack. That's what a relationship is. It is not 50-50. I don't always have 50% to bring. Sometimes I got to bring 100 because you might be at 0. And if you had a 0, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to cover you in my secret place. If it's one thing I know how to do, I know how to cover my friends. I will cover my friends to the end. I will cover my friends and I won't let you shoot them. I won't let you kill them. I'll see them do wrong. I'll tell them you did wrong and cover them in front of you and tell them they did nothing wrong. Oh, somebody ought to shout, God, send me somebody who really got my back and who won't stab me in it. Send me somebody, God.
Sister.